after an emergency Board of Licenses meeting. Plus, less than 2 days until Election Day. We'll take a look at who Rhode Island and Massachusetts residents say they are voting for. And Kelly is tracking our forecast.
Indeed, temperatures are taking quite the tumble overnight tonight. I'll let you know how cold it's going to be when you wake up.
ABC 6 News 11 at 11 starts right now.
Our top story tonight at 11. A shooting in Providence leaves one person injured. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Alyssa Azara. It happened just after 3 this afternoon. Chief Oscar Perez says officers responded to Russo Street and found a 24-year-old woman with a non-life-threatening gunshot wound. Perez says detectives are continuing to investigate what happened there tonight. New tonight on ABC 6 News, a Federal Hill bar is closed after a stabbing early this morning. A spokesperson for the mayor's office says Providence police responded to a freak to lounge on Spruce Street just before 1:20. Quasim Flynn, a security guard there, was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct after police say he cut a customer on the forehead with a knife during an altercation. Today, the Providence Board of Licenses voted to close business for 72 hours pending a hearing. Turning now to Your Voice, Your Vote 2024. More than 77 million Americans have already cast their vote in this election, and millions more will head to the polls on Tuesday. Both Vice President Harris and former President Trump have spent the weekend making their final cases to voters. Here's ABC's Allison Kosick with the latest.
On this final Sunday before Election Day, Vice President Harris making several stops across the battleground state of Michigan, speaking to the congregation at a black church in Detroit.
I see a nation determined to turn the page on hatred and division and chart a new way forward.
Then stopping at 2 local businesses before heading to a rally at Michigan State University.
America is ready for a fresh start. Ready for a new way forward where we see our fellow American not as an enemy, but as a neighbor.
Former President Donald Trump with stops Sunday in Pennsylvania and North Carolina.
And if we let this slip away, we should have our heads examined.
Trump then traveling to Macon, Georgia.
We're just 2 days away from what will be the most important political event in the history of our country.
While polls still show Harris and Trump locked in a dead heat, a Des Moines Register poll of likely voters in Iowa, a red-leaning state, shows Harris with a 3-point lead. Although that lead is within the margin of error, Trump's team is on defense, calling the poll an outlier. The former president is already disparaging the election, falsely claiming cheating would be the only way he could lose.
The ones that should be locked up are the ones that cheat on these horrible elections.
State and federal officials say U.S. elections have only gotten more secure. Harris arguing Trump is trying to sow doubt amongst voters.
It is meant to distract from the fact that we have and support free and fair elections in our country. We did in 2020. He lost.
On the final day before millions cast their ballots, both candidates will hold campaign events Monday in Pittsburgh, hoping to win over voters in the must-win state of Pennsylvania. Allison Kosick, ABC News, New York.
Well, 4 University of New Hampshire surveys released today are giving us insight on election results so far here at home. In Rhode Island, 54% of people say they'll vote for Harris or have already voted for her. Meanwhile, 40% say they will or have voted for Trump, giving Harris a 14% lead. Although support for Harris has dropped 4% since September, people were also surveyed on confidence, with 98% of Democrats saying they are somewhat to very confident votes will be correctly counted, compared to 69% of Republicans. Meanwhile, in Massachusetts, Harris is leading by 26%, with 60% of voters supporting Harris and 34% supporting Trump. Similar to Rhode Island, 98% of Democrats are somewhat to very confident election votes will be counted accurately. However, 61% of Republicans are somewhat to very confident in the accurate counting of election votes. For the race for U.S. Senate in Rhode Island, 54% of voters support Democratic incumbent Sheldon Whitehouse and 40% support Court Republican Patricia Morgan. On whether or not to hold a constitutional convention, Rhode Islanders say no more than yes. In total, 47% of people surveyed plan to vote no for the constitutional convention, while 34% plan to vote yes. In Mass, 60% will vote or have voted for Democratic incumbent Elizabeth Warren, and 37% have or will vote for Republican John Deaton. Question 2, which decides if high school students need to get a certain score on MCAS tests to graduate, is very close, with 49% of people voting yes. Question 5, which would increase the wage of tipped employees until it meets minimum wage, is close as well, with 4% more voters saying no. Meanwhile, the FBI issued a warning about 2 more fake videos circulating online related to election security. Days earlier, the agency said 2 other videos looking to push false information were Russian fakes. Here's ABC's Morgan Norwood.
As the election nears, the FBI issuing a warning, saying it's aware of 2 fake videos related to the 2024 election that claim to be from an agency, but they're not. One falsely said the FBI apprehended 3 groups committing ballot fraud, while the second video pertains to Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff, the husband of Vice President Kamala Harris. But the FBI assuring the American public both videos are fake, in a statement saying attempts to deceive the public with false content about FBI operations undermines our democratic process and aims to erode trust in the electoral system. The intelligence community says fake videos are often the work of foreign actors, in particular Russia, China, and Iran. But the FBI did not say if these latest videos have a foreign nexus. On Friday, intelligence officials said a video purporting to show Haitian immigrants on the way to vote in Georgia was a Russian influence operation, described as disinformation and fake. A week earlier, another bogus video that appeared to show a man destroying Trump ballots in battleground Pennsylvania was also a Russian fake.
They want to undermine American confidence in our elections and trust in democracy. And they want to sow and stoke partisan discord. They want to pit Americans against each other.
Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency Director Jen Easterly says she's confident in the integrity of our elections.
I do not believe it would be possible for a bad actor to tamper with or manipulate our voting systems in a way that they could have a material impact on the outcome of the presidential election.
She says the machines Americans use to vote are not connected to the internet, making them very difficult to hack. And there's a physical record of almost all votes.
97% of Americans will have their ballots, their votes, recorded on paper, which means they can be checked and rechecked over and over again.
Georgia's Secretary of State said it had identified 4 people who may have attempted to vote multiple times, an incident now under investigation that he said shows the safeguards in the state are working. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
All right, let's get a check on the forecast now. Meteorologist Kelly Bates joins us live in the Weather Center. Kelly, it is certainly chilly out there tonight.
Oh, no question about it. We have temperatures that have been dropping pretty steadily, and we're already in the lower 30s in many areas, and that includes here downtown. We have skies that have cleared out. We have winds that are slackening out there, and a light to calm wind and a clear sky. You put them together, and that allows temperatures to drop off. That 34 we're at right now, that's our daytime low. So this is the lowest our temperature has been over the course of the past 23 hours and 52 minutes. So our current temps are actually already down into the 20s. From Taunton at 28, we're matching that in Smithfield. We have 29 right now in New Bedford, holding at 36 in Newport, 31 right now in Westerly, and we're still going to keep these temperatures going down. So our satellite radar is checking clear. As we zoom out, yeah, we're seeing pretty much the same deal, clear skies. And it does mean we'll see sun when it comes up, but there's a bit of a catch. We may see some freezing going on, like frost and freeze. We may go into light freeze. And also, if you got a scraper, you may want to locate it because we're going to need it for tomorrow. Not so much for Tuesday. We're going to see a dramatic change for us temperature-wise, particularly as we near midweek. I'll let you know how warm it's going to go and how long we get to keep it coming up in just a couple of minutes. Alyssa?
Sounds good. We'll be looking for it. Thanks, Kelly. Other headlines we're following for you this Sunday evening. Warwick police say a woman was hit and killed by a train Saturday afternoon on the Warwick-Cranston town line. Police say the train was headed north when it happened. Both Cranston and Warwick police responded to the area of Wellington Avenue and Avery Road Saturday. Just before 3 p.m., Amtrak announced delays due to what they called the trespasser coming in contact with a train. That investigation remains active at this time. The Newport Police Department is feeling grateful after they say 2 of their officers were sideswiped by a tractor trailer. It happened on October 29th in North Carolina while delivering this new special response vehicle from Florida to Newport. Police say luckily a local police officer was behind the tractor trailer and caught this crash on his dash cam. The 2 Newport cops are doing well and say the van is replaceable, but their colleagues are not. Well, there have been over 100 brush fires reported in Massachusetts in the last 7 days, burning 600 acres of land. Officials say the fire risk remains high across the state tonight. According to the state's emergency management agency, most of these fires are preventable. Officials are reminding people that open burning is not allowed through January and to refrain from outdoor cooking and heating. Also, never toss your cigarette butts outside. All right, still to come on ABC 6 News at 11. Make-A-Wish holding a major fundraiser right here in Providence. We'll tell you just how much money was raised. Plus, one police department is bending the rules for a good cause. We'll tell you who they are helping out this month. And even though we just made it past Halloween, USPS is already preparing for Christmas. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I'm John Calcagni, a former federal prosecutor and head of New England's premier fully staffed criminal defense firm. If you or a loved one has been accused of a crime, call me.
Since 2006, we've been your trusted partner for heat pumps, gas-fired heating systems, air conditioning, and ductwork. Whether it's installation, repairs, or 24/7 emergency services, our expert team has you covered, both commercial and residential. We proudly work with top brands like York, Mitsubishi, and Samsung to ensure your comfort all year round.
Call Ocean State Mechanical today for comfort you can count on.
Are you ready to elevate your career while embracing your busy life? URI Online is here to make it happen. With the flexibility to go wherever life takes you and the academic quality you trust from the University of Rhode Island, our accredited online programs are crafted for ambitious professionals like you. With URI Online, you'll acquire the skills and knowledge needed to be a leader in today's workforce. All from the comfort of your home, a park bench, or your favorite coffee shop. Start your journey to success with URI Online.
Here we go. They're following us. Woo-hoo! This is awesome. Idiot.
The first ever Nissan Rogue Rock Creek.
Get 3.39% financing on the 2025 Rogue Rock Creek or get a low $289 per month lease on the 2024 Rogue.
We make junk disappear by giving it a new purpose. We donate the donatables and recycle the recyclables. And any organic materials are taken for composting. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Watch Good Morning Providence, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
Other weekend headlines: Make-A-Wish Massachusetts and Rhode Island raising $370,000 Saturday night. The 12th annual Evening of Wishes Gala was held at the Waterfire Arts Center in Providence to help grant wishes for children suffering from critical illnesses. Over 350 people, including Make-A-Wish families and Mayor Brett Smiley, were there. Meanwhile, the Jamestown Police Department is taking part in No Shave November for a good cause. Department rules have been relaxed to allow officers to grow out their facial hair. Money raised will go to the First Responders Family Foundation, which helps families who have lost loved ones in the line of duty. The department's goal is to raise $2,500. And registration opens for Operation Santa tomorrow. USPS Operation Santa helps fulfill Christmas wishes for children in need, allowing anyone to donate gifts during the holiday season. On Monday, you can create and verify your account to get started. Just go to USPSOperationSanta.com.
ABC 6 weather with Kelly Bates. Brought to you by the Preserve Sporting Club and Resort.
Well, here we are. If we didn't change the clocks back right now, it would be 12:14 a.m. But again, this is a new day, a whole new, season, if you will. Our temperatures, by the way, range from 34 topping out at 50, colder than average, both low and high temperature. And our records will remain safely in the books for another year. What I think perhaps is most interesting is the change in our sunrise and sunset times. Sunset is now at 4:37, at least it was today. Tomorrow, it's going to be even earlier. In Providence, we do have mainly clear skies, and that's going to stay with us as we go through the overnight. Temperatures are already below freezing in many areas of southern New England, and we're looking at the potential of seeing a light freeze across the region to start early tomorrow morning. We are going to be warming up midweek. That'll start on Tuesday. Tuesday and Wednesday will likely meet or top 70 degrees. It is still going to be a very dry week, even though we're going to have a couple of fronts go through. Our next appreciable chance of precipitation looks to be a 30% chance of showers next Sunday. And we are watching the tropics. It looks like we could see the development of our next system. I'll show you where in a second. Our current temperatures, again, are cold. We're down into the 20s already from Smithfield to Killingly to Taunton to New Bedford with a current of 29. Otherwise, we're running in the 30s as we look across the region. Satellite and radar. We are checking mainly clear across a good portion of southern New England. It's easternmost Mass that's still hanging on to a little bit of clouds. We do have an area of high pressure in charge, and it's cresting over the region. And when that happens, it allows the winds to slacken, and that's the process that's happening tonight. So we're doing this radiational cooling process, and that means temperatures to start tomorrow are going to be downright chilly, below freezing again in most areas. As we go through the day, we'll see a decent amount of sunshine, but because we're still going to be pulling in that cool air from the north, temperatures are only going to get so far, and we are due to top out only in the lower to mid 50s. As we go overnight Tuesday, as we go into Tuesday morning, we are looking at a lot of clouds to hang out. We're going to flip the wind direction to become southerly, moving in warmer air, and that means this nice warm start with temperatures in the 50s, closer to our average high to begin the day on Tuesday. As we clear, by the time we get into the afternoon, increasing sunshine is going to help boost temperatures into the 70s, and we're going to have an even warmer start to your Wednesday, and you bet those temperatures will be going well into the 70s from there. Now, we do have the elevated fire weather risk. Of course, it is continuing as we go through Monday because we have the exact same conditions that we've had in place for so long now. And we are looking at the tropics really closely because of this guy here, potential tropical cyclone number 18. There is an excellent chance it's going to develop into a tropical system within the next 24 to 48 hours. It would get the next name on the list, which is Rafael. It looks like it's going to brush by the western coast of Jamaica, go through the Caymans, and then just to the west of Havana up here, we are expecting it to go through a portion of Cuba as a Category 1 hurricane and then emerge in the Gulf. Right now, our model estimates are saying the center of the track would then take a trajectory to the border of Louisiana to Texas, but that's kind of far out, and the margin of error is huge at that time. But keep in mind, this is a storm that will likely go into the Gulf, so if you have any interest in the Gulf of Mexico, that's a storm to watch. For tonight, mainly clear and chilly. Winds are calm. They're already there, in fact. As we go to tomorrow, we're looking at mostly sunny skies, cool temperatures. Temps will top out in the lower 50s. And our extended forecast shows once we go into the 70s, well, we get to keep it for one day. Wednesday, a high near 74. After that, a slow, gradual cooling process takes us back to averages by the time we get to next weekend.
I think that's what's keeping things positive for me because I'm freezing already.
Yeah. Today was a big wake up.
Especially tonight going on my break. I mean, I needed a warmer jacket.
No question. We are in the 20s in Smithfield.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Those poor Smithfield residents right now. Bundle up.
And it's going to just get colder.
All right. Thanks, Kelly.
Sure.
Nick?
Might be one of those people that lives in the northern part of the state.
Oh, no.
Great.
No.
Thanks, ladies. An up and down day for Drake May, to say the least. You'll see the big highlights, including the end of the game, and the disappointing lowlights as well from Pats Titans coming up. And Champions Crown in high school field hockey Sunday. We've got the highlights in reaction from all three championship matchups and more coming up next in sports.